I hate misinformation, and I especially hate misinformation revolves around my current hyperfixation. And lately, that's been Tribe 9. I've been playing this game pretty much non-stop since it released 2 months ago, and having a blast exploring Neo Tokyo and getting to learn all about these colorful and wacky characters. But despite this, the general public doesn't seem to really know about Tribe 9 and understand what type of game it even is. And it's so bad that the current biggest flaw in many people's minds for Tribe 9 is, love this game, wish they'd advertise a little more, and somehow, someway, I'm contractually obligated to do that right now. Crazy, I know. That's right, the people responsible for creating Tribe 9 have sponsored me to tell you about this crazy JRPG from some of the creators of the Danganronpa series and the gaming powerhouse of Akatsuki Games, who are challenging what a mobile game can even be. Is it possible to put a console video game on your phone, PC, and Steam and let you play for free? The answer is yes, they did that. I can't believe it either. In the dystopian cyberpunk city of Neo Tokyo, traverse 23 cities in search for a way to defeat the villainous mastermind, Zero. Challenge crazy bosses, upgrade your characters with compatible monsters, and assemble your deck of tension cards to fuel your team for battle. I've been playing RPGs for so long, and there has not been an action RPG like Tribe 9 in a while. And right now is the best time to join because the latest chapter, Neo Chiyoda, has been introduced to the game, and you can obtain Hinagiku Akuba. She's a ninja, she's a maid, she's a cat. What's not to love? Also, she just hits really hard. She's just so fun to play. I can't. Oh my god. And all around, I'm not that big into cats or maids for that matter. She somehow won me over. The game's also got some free stuff to give out till May 7th, a Steam Positive Feedback Appreciation campaign where you get free in-game currency, and the Synchronicity login bonus, which gives you free Enigma entities just for logging in each day. So if that sounds interesting to you, click the link down below, check the game out, or just scan the QR code. But if you still need more convincing, that's what the remainder of this video is for. Overall, I just wanted a chance to discuss Tribe 9 up to this point, and my opinions on the latest update. I've now completed all the content, had a lot of fun doing so, and many of the new additions they've added to Tribe 9 have gotten me very excited for the future. Now, we could do a video where I just simply list all the new changes, but we have patch notes for a reason. The big updates are that yes, rifts can now be tackled multiple times if you use multiple boosters. This is the biggest quality of life thing that I wanted introduced into the game because, really, why not? Let me spend triple the amount of resource, get triple the amount of rewards. I ain't got a lot of time, or I'm making these YouTube videos. So the fact that Akutatsu Games was like, yeah, that's kind of dumb. Let's change it. And then they did, and that's just what we want to see from game developers. And that is genuinely one of the most impressive things about Tribe 9, is that these anti-consumer practices that they take what is already a pre-existing concept in this niche of gaming, and they do away with it. It's like, no, our game is rock solid. We want people to have fun. We don't want people to feel obligated to play this game. That is why this subgenre of gaming has a bad reputation. And the fact that Tribe 9 is just like, well, we're not going to do that. That's crazy to me. And I want more people to genuinely know about this game. And I'm not taking credit for it, but I did write that in my request form when they're asking for feedback. So you're welcome. And quality of life happens every patch. That's nothing new. But one thing that did occur in Neo Chiyoda's patch is a big boost to the hegemony archetype of tension cards. Now, I briefly talked about tension cards in other videos before, but essentially, you have 5 tension cards and they activate at different points in the battle depending on your level of tension. You gain tension by breaking the boss. And bosses are, for the most part, broken faster by characters with bats. Did I mention this is a baseball game, kind of? Well, it's not really. It's extreme baseball. Totally different. This is the future, after all. You think we're going to just have the same sports all the time? Probably not. They're going to evolve in some way. But on launch, tension cards did not have the most synergy. You really wanted to go for ones that prioritize increasing your basic stats. Basic stats are nice and all, but they are a bit basic. In this latest update, the hegemony archetype evolved in such a creative and fun way. I gotta speak my mind. This is sick. Let's just take Hinagiku, for example. She's kind of the poster girl for this patch. We'll talk about her character assets and, her abilities later. But her ultimate skill does no damage. Sounds horrible on paper, right? Wrong. When she uses her ultimate, she taunts everything around her, lowering their defenses by 30 points. But if you have Hegemony tension cards, you get so many strong effects if the enemy is targeting you. And genuinely, the character is cute and all. When they add new tension cards, I go ballistic. If you've ever played a game where like you build a deck of cards, you're like, oh, okay, this might have synergy, but this game is like that to the 11th degree. Now, you don't have to be as obsessive about the tension cards as I am, but you know, I am, right? I need to finish this video because I just thought of right now a synergy that I want to test. It's a lot of fun, okay? Right now, this combination that one empowers my damage while there's Hegemony going out, which just really combos well with Hinagiku. But additionally, when I counter an attack, I get some more tension. Usually, you want to be able to do that. But with this card, oh my god, there's just so many options. Do you need to be a big nerd about tension cards? Absolutely not. This is just for like me, right? But for those who have experienced action RPGs before, it is a genuinely interesting take on equipment and optimizing your units that I think more people need to know about. And while the story is awesome, we're not going to spoil it here. I'm going to give some thoughts on the story a little bit later, but really, Tribe 9 excels when it comes to just combat and insane bosses. We've got quite a few new bosses in this patch, and I'm sure there's more on the way, and I genuinely enjoy fighting all of them. There's this tree. Oh, dump the tree. That boy, oh, you better look at, oh, it's a tree. Can't even move. How hard can it be? Buddy, you better buckle up. The bosses have some bite, but I've spoken to players who aren't, you know, seasoned veterans of action RPGs. And to get around these adversaries, they just got to use a little more strategy. They just got to change their tension cards up, really assess what the boss is doing. And I think that's awesome. There are so many games that are afraid to challenge the player because that might scare them off. Tribe 9 does not care, and that should be commended. You have to learn the movesets, you have to parry the boss, and you have to bring the right team, and I think that just rocks. Finally, there is a game on the market where you just don't press buttons. Instead, hold on, wait a minute, maybe time your attacks a little bit, use a little, just a little bit of skill, and you might come out ahead. That is so refreshing for this genre. Now, to fight these bosses, you have to actually find them in the overworld, and just like in the previous patches, the city is one giant dungeon, and there's a lot to see, a lot to explore, and this time around, there's a ground floor and a flying city. Now, we still don't know why stuff is flying, but that mystery will hopefully be solved one day, and I'm crossing my fingers. I have a couple ideas, but in the real world, Japan, Chiyoda is home to, well, the Imperial Castle, Akihabara, which is kind of an anime epicenter, and a pretty big TV station. In Tribe 9, those areas have been transformed into zones that you explore, and seeing just Tokyo in this form and just learning more about Japanese culture through a video game is actually a lot of fun. I'm playing a lot of Japanese games, right? And I'm learning new stuff about this city I might not have heard of before. That's not to say it's a one-to-one recreation, because Neo Chiyoda stuff floats. Really, yeah, there's a floating city in Neo Chiyoda. We don't know why. It's really fascinating, atmospheric to just chill out up there and look down at that city that is going through a lot, to put it lightly. Without spoiling anything, each city in Tribe 9 has an XG or execution game that they are enduring. And the XG for this city is to be a streamer and get a lot of views. How relatable. If you fail to do so, well, bad things happen. Which on the outside sounds silly, you know, oh, the gang's gotta be streamers, what are they gonna do? But when you take a step back and actually analyze this chapter on a macro level, it is kind of eerie. At first, when we were streaming the game, I didn't exactly understand the angle of this chapter. Chapter 1 and 2 were actually pretty vanilla. Here's the bad guy of the week, you gotta beat him. But then we get to chapter 3 and it's, well, is there a bad guy? Of course, the plot of the game is to take down the numbers, stop Zero, liberate the cities. But what if the people don't want to be liberated? They just want to watch this guy stream. Who are we to step in and say, oh, well, you know, can't do that. It's not just a commentary on current events or, you know, streamer culture, right? But what is it truly to be human? How can we communicate with each other? Obviously with our voices, but is that all there is to it? It rocks. It really, really rocks. I am not going to forget this character for a long, long time. Because what the heck? Yet again, I can't spoil anything, but seriously. Tribe 9's got the whole package. I'm historically a guy that does not like the concept of maid cafes, but they somehow created a scenario, created a chapter in this video game that genuinely made me care for a character that looks like this. I mean, I'll proudly say it. I don't care what you think. Tribe 9, it's got it all. Please check it out. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. Because chapter 3 was a blast. And that's going to do it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed. Special thanks to our sponsors once again for supporting our channel. See you next time. More videos coming soon. Bye.